guys, Krim here. I wanted to do an anatomy tutorial since I have been drawing for nearly 7 years, and I wanted to share some wisdom of what I have personally learned throughout my time of drawing. I first want to go ahead and talk about shapes. Normally, if you're drawing, you want to start with the head first. You can use lines for face direction. I know that helps me out a ton. And as I'm using shapes, I'm using triangles, circles, and squares to kind of help guide me with where everything goes. Typically with female anatomy, you kind of use drastic, I guess, shapes for the chest and the curve and the hips, because that's where the majority, I think, makes a difference between male and female anatomy, other than like where the fat goes. Adding a floor or like a line where the feet can like touch, I think that can give you sort of a sense over time on like where they'll go. I think that elbows and the middle section of the curve line up somewhat. I think that can also help you with where your elbows can like reach. I know that it typically helps me with how it is. But as you can see, shapes aren't really my thing that I use. I usually go for freestyles where I use waves instead of shapes. I use shapes sometimes. So still start off with a head. That greatly helps you with the direction. And you can use wavy lines. So instead of shapes, you can just use a line direction instead, which I think really drastically helps out. This is normally how I draw, where I add the lines together and sometimes add shapes to help along the waist. And when you're doing arms, the wrists are typically really thin, and as you can see, I'm like kind of struggling trying to get it to look right. Also, legs curve in where they are facing. I know that the calves and the back section of the thighs will typically curve out while the legs will curve inward, especially like the knees. They can joint out a little bit. You can see like a slight bump at least. And I like to say that arms are like long diamonds. That really helped me out when I was doing arms and where they would go like on the body. So I hope that helps you out, because it was amazing when I learned that. Next, I want to go on to breasts. I would like to say that breasts are kind of like in the shape of teardrops, simply because breasts have like a gravity to them. I'm drawing a basic body here just to like show. There's typically no gap between girls' thighs because the fat kind of meets up with each other. And there also should be a space between where the breast and the chest like line up, and wrists should always line up with, I guess, crotch level. And drawing on the second one, I'll show you like a side view where breasts typically have gravity going down, so they're kind of drooping a little bit. Usually if you see perky breasts, they usually have like a push-up bra or something like that. And I'm going to give you an example of collarbone, because I typically see collarbones a little bit misguided. They usually line up with your shoulders, and there's also always a gap between breasts, mostly because it's just unnatural the way that breasts typically are drawn, where they're like pushed together. That's typically what anime normally does. Next, I'm going on to body shapes. Not all body shapes are the same. So I did pear, apple, and hourglass. And I'll give you previous examples as well as I'm drawing, where I take what I've already talked about before and put it together so you can see like the process. Over time, you will get faster. You'll get faster at drawing bodies. You'll get faster at drawing the shapes. Shapes typically you start off with, then you do like freestyle, and then you do like different shapes to kind of mess around with. It definitely takes time. I personally do the hourglass shape a lot more than I do a lot of other shapes, which is my bad. But yeah, I hope this video helped you guys out with learning how it all goes and such, and if you guys liked it, please give me a like or share it with other people that you know who are also great artists, because I hope that my tips help you out. I know that there are definitely other tutorials out there you guys should definitely check out that have helped me along the way. But let me know if this has helped you, and if you want more of these, please let me know in the comments below on what you want me to do next. Male anatomy I can also give tips on, but just let me know in those comments below. Thanks!